Defendant, state your name for the record. The courtroom was silent except for the rustling of papers and the dull hum of flickering fluorescent lights. The man at the defense table stood slowly, dressed in a tattered jacket 2 sizes too big, boots worn through at the sole, hair graying beneath a military-issued cap, stained with time. His voice cracked as he answered, "Staff Sergeant Cole Matthews." A chuckle rose from someone in the gallery. The prosecutor didn't even glance up. "Charged with trespassing, resisting arrest and property damage," the clerk read aloud. "Pled not guilty." The judge, a stern woman in her 50s, adjusted her glasses. "Sergeant Matthews," she began, "do you have representation?" "No, ma'am," he replied quietly. "I'll represent myself. I don't have much to lose." A few courtroom spectators shifted uncomfortably. He didn't look like a threat, more like a man who had been forgotten. Just another name on the docket. But then something strange happened. The judge paused. Her eyes froze on the file in front of her. "Cole Matthews?" she repeated, more to herself than the room. Her voice softened, like something caught in her throat. The prosecutor rolled his eyes. "Your Honor, this is a standard public nuisance case. The defendant was found sleeping in a condemned building, refused to leave, and threw a can at responding officers. Minor injuries. We recommend 30 days and psychiatric review." She wasn't listening. The judge's hand trembled as she lowered the file and looked up at the man again. "Sergeant Matthews," she said carefully, "did you serve in Afghanistan, 3rd Battalion, Forward Operating Base, Crimson?" He stiffened. His eyes, dull and tired just moments ago, sharpened. "Yes, ma'am. 2 tours. Retired after injury." The judge slowly rose to her feet. "You saved my life," gasps echoed through the courtroom. The bailiff, startled, took a step forward. "Ma'am?" The judge's voice was steady now, filled with reverence. 10 years ago, Crimson Base. Mortar fire. I was embedded as a civilian advisor. Our convoy was hit. You dragged me from the wreckage." Her voice cracked. "I never knew your name. You disappeared before I could thank you." Matthews stood frozen, emotion rising behind his eyes. "Didn't think anyone noticed," he muttered. "I just did my job." The judge took a slow breath and sat back down, not out of authority, but out of something close to grief. "Case dismissed," she said, her voice shaking. "All charges dropped." The prosecutor stood in disbelief. "Your Honor, I must object." "Objection overruled, on grounds of humanity." The gavel slammed. Flashback. The battlefield was chaos, smoke thick as night, screams and gunfire echoing through burning sand. Matthews ran toward the blast while others took cover. He didn't hesitate. He ripped open a crumpled Humvee door, pulled out a woman coughing blood, and shielded her with his own body until the medevac arrived. He never stayed for the debrief. Didn't want medals, didn't want attention, just wanted to go home. But home never welcomed him. PTSD, lost a job, medical bills, divorce, shelter to shelter, one arrest too many. The world labeled him dangerous, broken, disposable. Back in the present, the judge left the bench. She crossed the courtroom slowly. No robe, no power trip. Just a woman with tears in her eyes. She stood in front of the man who had once carried her through fire and said, "I owe you my life." Matthews lowered his eyes. "You don't owe me anything." "But we all do," she said. Then she turned to the bailiff. "Get him a hot meal. Call Veterans Affairs. Call my office. He's not walking out of here back into the street." The gallery, once silent and judgmental, stood, one by one, in quiet honor. Even the officer who'd made the arrest stood and nodded. Matthews looked around, overwhelmed. "I didn't expect this," he whispered. "I expected cuffs, a cell. I just wanted somewhere warm." The judge placed a hand on his shoulder. "You gave warmth to others when they were dying. Now we give it back." The clip hit the internet within hours. Courtroom footage leaked. Millions watched, shared, wept. Sergeant Matthews. Honor in court. He saved her, flooded the feeds. Veterans groups raised funds. The local mayor offered a key to the city. Job offers poured in, but Matthews didn't take the spotlight. He used the money to help other homeless vets, opened a shelter, named it Crimson House. When asked why, he said, "Because some of us made it home with scars you can't see. But that doesn't mean we should be invisible." A reporter asked if he'd forgiven the system that failed him. He answered, "I don't need apologies. I need people to remember." And they did. His story wasn't about charity. It was about recognition, dignity, and the kind of heroism that doesn't wear medals or headlines, but keeps burning, quietly, beneath layers of dust and pain. In the end, Matthews walked out of that courtroom not as a criminal, but as a reminder that sometimes justice isn't about punishment. It's about seeing someone, really seeing them, for the first time. Before we end this story, let us know in the comment where are you watching from. If this story touched you, subscribe to the channel and hit that like button and drop a karma in the comments below.